This is day 33 in the Marriage Motivator series, and today we're talking about transparency in marriage, a biblical key to lasting love. You know, the Bible says that we should speak the truth in love. And one thing that can make or break your marriage, and that is transparency. Not romance, not money, but transparency. We gotta be transparent. So let's look at 10 practical ways to be transparent in marriage. Number one, be open about your feelings. Yes, we should share our joys and fears and struggles instead of bottling them up. But be careful, don't share your spouse's feelings with others because that could lose trust. Number two, be careful about sharing too much information about past relationships. Now, if your spouse wants to know everything, then tell them everything. But if not, I would not tell everything about past relationships, especially if they are negative and sinful, because there'll be envy and jealousy and comparing if your spouse knows everything you did with a previous partner, okay? It's really best just to focus on your relationship now, the current relationship and the future of your relationship. Number three, tell the truth even when it's hard. Your spouse should be the first to know if something happens, like you lose your job or whatever. They should be the first to know. And you don't need to tell half truths just to protect your spouse. You know what I mean? So your spouse deserves to know everything as to what's going on in your life. Number four would be to share finances honestly. Share your spending habits, your debts, your budgets, your financial goals, stuff like that. I know my wife pays the bills in our household, and she will always let me know when we do not need to use the debit card. So we are open and honest about money. Number five would be to share your struggles. I would say be open and honest about your fears and your struggles and areas where you need accountability. It's amazing how sometimes my wife will protect me from maybe other girls when she can see or sense things that I don't see or sense. And that has happened before when she says, "Hey, Brian, you need to be careful about this particular woman because I think she is trying to flirt with you." And I was oblivious, you know? And then, swap that around. We need to let our wives know whenever we think a guy is flirting with them. Of course, we guys know how guys think, and you girls know how girls think. And so we need to protect each other in this manner. Number six would be to share expectations. Boy, this is huge. We should always share our expectations when it comes to intimacy or just conversation or what we do and where we go, stuff like that. What time we leaving? Are we going here? Are we going there? We're going to go to this Christmas party or not go to this Christmas party? We should always share expectations. And this is really important also when it comes to birthdays and anniversaries. We should always share our expectations because your mom may have made this special cake for you on your birthday, and you just assume your wife's going to make that for you, or your husband's going to make that for you, or go buy it for you. We got to share these expectations. And going back to birthdays, you have to share, hey, do you want gifts, or do you want to go out to eat, or do you want to take a trip, or just whatever, however the budget can allow it. But you just need to share your expectations. And then when it comes to Christmas time, are you going to share gifts? I know some couples that just don't give each other gifts anymore because they feel like they don't need anything. But isn't it fun to open a gift? I think we should. I don't know. It's between you and your spouse, but for me and my wife, we actually enjoy opening up a gift from each other, and so it's just a fun thing to do. Now, speaking of the holidays, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Fourth of July, things like that, we should really share our expectations as to how much time we're going to spend with certain families, certain family or family members. Are we going to go to your parents' house for a certain amount of time and then my parents' house for a certain amount of time? I know every Christmas, every Thanksgiving in particular, my wife and I talk about, all right, we're going to spend this amount of time with your parents and we're going to spend this amount of time with my parents. And we always try our best to make that equal time so that everybody has equal time with their parents. And so anyway, I know your situation may be different, but I'm telling you, it is so important to share your expectations. Number seven would be to confess mistakes quickly. We need to admit when we're wrong rather than letting pride or silence create distance. And we need to learn to say, I'm sorry. All right, you guys want to practice now? All together now, let's say it. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, if we don't practice that and if we don't implement those two words in marriage, it could be a very difficult marriage. Number 8 would be to use we instead of me. In other words, we should make decisions as a team and not individual choices. This really helps out when you're in an argument with each other, and to realize that it's not really you against me, but it's me and my spouse against the issue of the argument. In other words, we're going to handle this conflict together as a team. Number 9 would be transparent with time. We should let our spouses know where we are, who we're with, what we're doing, and what time we're going to be home. It's just that important. And it's not about control, it's about being transparent as to what in the world's going on in your life. Number 10 would be to pray and worship together. I tell you what, spiritual transparency strengthens emotional intimacy. I tell you what, whenever a couple is in a small group together and going to worship together every Sunday, man, there's nothing greater than those two things right there. And whenever a couple actually serves together, like in their community, or they go on a mission trip together, you talk about a special bond, man. That right there will strengthen your connection. I tell you, true transparency isn't really about telling everything, but about building trust, unity, and intimacy with nothing hidden. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to know if you're ready for marriage.